your head facing the front of the room. And today, this class is focused on the Lung Meridian Harmony. So we will begin by just becoming aware of our breath. As you arrive here, just noticing the breath where it is in the body before we begin our practice. And becoming focused maybe on the awareness of the function of our lungs. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest. Then seeing if you can draw your gaze inward, deeper into the lungs. Not working to shift or change the breath, just drawing our awareness there and letting it be as it is. Throughout today's practice, we will be focusing on the lung meridian, which runs from our lung as the organ through our arms to our thumb, connecting with our meridian for our large intestine. So as we move through the practice, really thinking about how our breath is moving through our body, how the energy is being carried through our body. As we find balance in our lung meridian, we create harmony within our entire body. If we think about our breath, we think about the function of our lungs and how it carries oxygen to all of the organs, through our blood, to all the parts of our body. This is also how our chi, or our life force energy, is carried throughout our body, through our meridians. So as we find balance here in the lung meridian, we can create harmony through our body in its entirety. So spend some time here just noticing the breath. Maybe doing a scan from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Just noticing any areas where you may be holding tension, tightness, physically or energetically. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, maybe even to just find harmony within, you can do that now, thinking about seating that in the heart center. You can also let an intention arise throughout your practice if that feels more true to you. And as the breath settles, see if you can find an even inhale and exhale. Whatever count feels right to you, maybe a 3 or a 4. So inhaling for a count of 3 or 4, 5, whatever it is, and exhaling for that same count, finding balance here. We'll move into crescent or banana asana. So bringing the arms up overhead and reaching the shoulders towards the top right corner of the mat. Walking the ankles over to the bottom right corner of the mat and then crossing the left and trace the breath from the lungs through that left arm, reaching up overhead, following that meridian all the way to the thumb. And then on the exhale, back down into the lungs. Nice, even breath here. Even inhale and exhale, just feeling into the movement here. Becoming aware of the opening of the side body, feeling down even into the hip, all the way to the left toes. Our affirmation here, I breathe deeply, filling my lungs with fresh energy. I breathe deeply, filling my lungs with fresh energy. Gently unwind, bringing the arms down to the sides, uncrossing the feet. Coming back through center and just pausing for a moment. We'll move into the opposite side, so walking the ankles over to the left corner of the mat, right ankle over the left, arms up overhead towards the left top corner of your mat. Perfect. Feeling into the opening now in the right side body. Just begin by noticing that line of energy from the lungs through the arm all the way to the thumb and back. Each inhale, the expansion, exhale, everything contracting. Breathing into the space between the rib cage and the right hip, and down the right leg, all the way to the toes. Inviting new energy in. And uncross the legs, bring the arms down to your sides. And roll over nice and slow onto our bellies. Take your time. We'll move into Sphinx pose. So bringing our bellies to the mat, elbows stacked underneath the shoulders, forearms pressed into the earth. Think about drawing the shoulder blades together, opening the heart center towards the front of the room, and bringing our gaze down between our hands, or maybe to a block, placing our forehead on a block. Really focusing on our heart center here. We're fully supported, our bellies to the mat, our bodies held here by the earth. We're able to just be held here, breathing into the heart. As my heart opens, I embrace a new flow of energy. As my heart opens, I embrace a new flow of energy. Notice if you're holding tension in your legs. Let it release. Go ahead and lower all the way down to the mat, resting your head on your forearms. Just taking a couple of breaths here. We'll take thread the needle from Sphinx. So just reaching the left arm out, feed the right arm through, resting on the right shoulder. And you can rest your head on the mat or on a block, whatever feels best for you, taking care of your neck. And just finding that even breath. Following the breath along that meridian. We can even soften our gaze towards our right thumb. Or with your eyes closed, just imagining that energy traveling. And our affirmation here, I release tension with each breath. I release tension with each breath. And gently unwinding, coming back through center and pausing before moving to the opposite side. Reaching the right arm out and feeding the left arm through, coming to rest on the shoulder, resting your head on a block. Just settling into a sense of support here. Resting with the earth, softening. And slowly unwind. And bringing the hands under the shoulders, pressing back. We'll find a wide-legged child's pose. You may want to use a blanket to support your knees here. Bringing the knees the width of the mat, big toes together. And just begin by sitting back towards the heels and then walking the hands out and letting the body come towards the earth. And don't worry so much about your hips coming to your heels here or staying here. Just even think about the intention of drawing them towards the earth a little more. With our bodies, our hearts open to the earth here. Our affirmation, each inhale, I invite healing energy into my lungs. Each inhale, I invite healing energy into my lungs. Gaze comes towards the hands. Gently walk them back, bringing the head up last. And we'll come into a supported fish. We can do this with a couple of blocks or our bolster, laying our spine across our bolster, or placing one block between the shoulder blades and then another to rest your head. So if you're using your bolster, place your bolster here at your hips, and you can have your knees bent here, or you can bring the legs out long. And just allow your back to rest on the bolster. There's a slight lower back bend here. Bring the arms out to the T. Just feel into the opening of the chest. If you opt to use the blocks, placing one between the shoulder blades and one at the top of the mat. And allowing the head to rest on a top block or to hang heavy towards the earth. Whatever variation you find, just settling into stillness here. Finding that even inhale and exhale. And in whatever way is intuitive to you, releasing that prop and coming to laying down all the way on your mat. And bend the knees and walk the feet in towards the body, towards the hips. And just gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. Just feeling into the movement in your hips. Doing a little massage to our sacrum. And then coming back through center, pressing through the soles of the feet, gently lift the hips and shift them to the left. Let the knees fall to the right and find just a gentle supine twist here. It may feel good to you to put a block between your knees. Take your time to find a twist that feels right for your body. You may also want to just stay with the knees bent, crossing the left leg over the right. That's okay too. Whatever feels good to you. Always honoring our bodies. Each day they change. We show up different. Practicing non-judgment, acceptance, just the way we are. Gaze comes over the left fingertips. Inhale, draw the knees back up through center. Shift the hips back through center. Maybe draw the knees in towards the chest. Gentle squeeze here. And releasing the feet back down to the earth, moving into the opposite side. So maybe shifting the hips over to the right and letting the knees fall to the left. Bringing the arms out to a T. Gaze comes over the right fingertips this time. And gently unwind. Coming back through center, bring the soles of the feet together and we'll move into reclined butterfly. So soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open. You may want to place blocks under the thighs for support. Hands can rest on the rib cage or at your sides. Feel free to cover up with a blanket. Beautiful. As we begin to wind down our practice, maybe draw that intention that you set, if you set one at the beginning of practice, to your mind, to your heart, just checking in without judgment, just curiosity. If it's drifted away, coming back to it. If you were allowing space for one to arise, reflecting there, just taking a moment here with that. feel free to stay here or release props and come into Shavasana, just letting the legs come out long, letting the feet fall open, arms at your sides, just taking up a little space. Let go of any shape of your breath. So if you have that even inhale and exhale, feel free to release it. Allow your body to just settle here, to rest, giving yourself time to integrate everything you've done today. And just notice this is where we started. And if you'd like to do a scan from the top of our head to the soles of our feet, just noticing any subtle differences, any shifts in energy and sensations. Again, non-judgment, just simply noticing. And wiggling the fingers and toes, and gently coming back. Taking your time, maybe rolling to one side. And whenever you're ready, making your way to a seated position. Placing our hands over our hearts. And just closing the eyes for a moment finding a moment of gratitude for yourself for showing up today, for yourself for carving out this time to pause, to be still, to balance, to bring harmony to our bodies, to our minds. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice of yin yoga, of tuning into our lungs, our hearts, finding harmony, coming together to support each other on our journeys. It is my greatest wish that you will carry the benefit of this practice with you throughout the rest of your evening and beyond. Sat Nam, may you align with your favorite version of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.